So wow, we woke up to some news that was pretty major that was reported in the middle of the night, at least on the East Coast, from both Shams and Woj. So you know it's pretty much accurate, or as accurate as it can get, and that is the Celtics and the Nets have discussed a Kevin Durant style trade. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Yeah, we are going to be reacting to kind of this news and what kind of went behind it. Do I think I like it? Maybe we'll hop into the trade simulator, try to find a trade that could maybe make sense. But yeah, Kevin Durant in his fourth week since, I believe, requesting a trade, since it was pretty much at the start of free agency, about a month ago. The title of the Shams article we're going to go through today. Also, Woj reported, I believe it's on ESPN Plus, or maybe just on ESPN. I don't even know if it's on Plus. But Celtics offered Jaylen Brown package for Kevin Durant and the latest on Donovan Mitchell and more. So we could actually talk about that a little bit as well in this. But basically, it discussed that the Brooklyn Nets turned down an offer that was centered around, I think, Jaylen Brown and minimal first-round picks. So yeah, the Celtics offered, here's the deal, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and a draft pick. So they already gave up a protected first-round pick next year in the Malcolm Brogdon trade. So therefore, they wouldn't be able to move a first-round pick till 2025, which maybe they included there. Maybe they included 27, 29, probably 2025 first-round pick, Brown and Derek White, which Jaylen Brown, say what you want, but he's one of the best, kind of second options in the league. I guess some other teams that have looked at as the Kevin Durant trade, like the Miami Heat, you'd rather have Jaylen Brown than Tyler Hero. I'd probably rather have Jaylen Brown than Bam Adebayo. I'd rather have Jaylen Brown than Mikal Bridges or DeAndre Ayton. Rather have Jaylen Brown than Brandon Ingram, but that one is close, at least for some of the teams that have been interested. Now, I'd probably rather have Scotty Barnes at the moment just because of his ceiling, his contract at the moment, if the Raptors were to make a deal, but I don't think it'd be able to get Scotty Barnes. You'd have to do it around Siakam and Trent or Anunoby, and then it gets difficult. So the proposal was rejected, and Brooklyn countered with Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and draft picks, and potentially one more rotational player. That could be Grant Williams. I would assume it would be somebody like Grant Williams. I don't even know if there would be a Peyton Pritchard could possibly have been included in that deal. Maybe one of their younger guys. Now, did they just draft somebody in the first round this year? No, because that was from the Derek White trade. And draft picks. So they're probably asking for 2 to 3 firsts, maybe some swaps in there as well. But yeah, Marcus Smart's the reigning decoy. You'd get him, Jaylen Brown. Say it's a Pritchard or Grant Williams. I mean, that's a solid return in multiple first-round picks, but I could see why the Celtics want to decline that. You just went to the finals without Kevin Durant. You just went to the finals with Jaylen Brown and Kevin Durant, so I didn't really see the Celtics' need for this. Now, you could look at it that Jaylen Brown has yet to sign a contract extension, and there's financial reasons why he shouldn't have done that yet, because he can get more money when he hits the open market from the Celtics or from another team than he would get an extension right now, because it's the increase in your contract from the current one you're on. But they might be Brown might not be here. Brown might be traded. Brown might leave in free agency. Let's get a top 5 player in the league for him while we still can. But yeah, so Sham says, as of right now, the Celtics have emerged as a serious possibility as a landing spot for Durant. They have tremendous interest in bringing him in and view him as a piece that they could take them over the final hurdle. I mean, Jason Tatum's 23 years old. I don't think there's a huge blaring hurdle right now. If say you went to the you lost in the conference finals last year or next year, or you lost in round 1, okay. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the Celtics are still good enough to compete against the Nets, the Heat, the Sixers, the Bucks in the playoffs next year. Yeah, so I don't really know if Boston, this would make a lot of sense. I mean, last time they traded for a big player when they didn't really need him at the moment, but it was honestly still a good trade. I mean, okay, so it was the Kyrie Irving trade because they had Brown, they had Tatum, they had Gordon Hayward, they had Al Horford, and then they picked up Kyrie Irving in the trade, which on paper, that was one of the best teams in the league. I think, well, yeah, Kyrie barely played in the first year. Gordon Hayward got hurt in the first game. They lost the Celtics in the conference finals, and then the following year they beat the Pacers in round 1, I believe, in 2019, then lost to the Bucks. I think they got swept. No. They won game 1, and then I think Paul Pierce said the series is over, and then they ended up losing 4 straight, and then Kyrie left for Brooklyn. So, I don't know. It would be a little bit... I would not want to give up Marcus Smart. I think that hurts you a lot. If you could do Jaylen Brown... I don't know. I'm trying to think. Jaylen Brown, Grant Williams, or Peyton Pritchard, whoever they prefer more. Even if you had to do both, say you did Brown, Grant Williams, and Pritchard, along with 2 first. On a pure player perspective, I would do that. I mean, say you can maybe make the 2027 pick protected. God forbid anything goes wrong. But yeah, you do 2 first, Grant Williams, Pritchard, and Brown. You're better. You definitely are. Brown and Tatum, though, they're both going to want the ball in their hands. We'll see. Kevin Durant's played with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Steph Curry over the years. I mean, it worked out fine in Golden State. But I don't know. Is Jason Tatum ready to be that thing? I think, like, if Jason Tatum is really good friends with Jaylen Brown and bringing in Kevin Durant, they might be like, whoa. So, yeah, I don't know. No deal for Durant is imminent. As August and September loom, the real desire of interested teams will become clear to the Nets. Brooklyn's front office, led by general manager Sean Marks, has set a high price on the Durant market while constructing a team that gives organization confidence in its ability to contend should the team bring the roster, as it is, into training camp. So, yeah, the Nets clearly don't want to rebuild, especially since a lot of their future draft capital is owned by Houston and a little bit from Utah now. So, yeah, we can kind of see... at least here, that looks like Kyrie's going to play for them next season, and then we can kind of talk about a little bit about... but yeah, let me know what you guys think. We'll hop in the trade simulator actually first. Yeah, I'm sure Kevin Durant, or Russell Westbrook's still the top guy being traded, but yeah, you got Jaylen Brown. Kevin Durant is pretty far. He's not even in the top 15. So say we did the Celtics, like I'll pretty much just say like the trade that I came up with, and maybe there's a player on the Celtics that I was forgetting. And who knows, maybe the Celtics can also get a player back. So say you gave up Jaylen Brown. You gave up... Okay, so they did... No, they initially offered Derek White. So say you did Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and... Okay, Grant Williams. So basically what the Nets offered, but then you're countering it with... yeah, I mean, like, if it's another rotational guy, it'd be Grant or Pritchard. Say we did Pritchard, you have Smart, you have Malcolm Brogdon, maybe it's okay to move Pritchard. But you do have to pay Williams in a year, so maybe they do that instead. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do Kevin Durant going back. I don't know if you can snag a Seth Curry in this, unfortunately. I mean, we could try to do it with Seth Curry, but they're going to want to compete. So, like, say we'll do that, and then I don't even know if the Celtics would want him. We did 2025 first, and we did 2027 top 5 protected for something like that. Like, would this trade go through financially? It would. Let's see. Well, a lot of suspense right here. It does not. So, okay, so maybe there was a... Oh, was it just because of the draft picks? I don't get it, though, because I'm giving up 2025 and 2027. Do they not have their 2028 first-round pick? All right, whatever. Just if we go to these picks, let me just kind of undo these, and then we will... I don't know what I did wrong there. So let's just undo those. And does it work without the draft picks? It does. So could there be something like this, but also 2 first-round picks involved? I don't think so. I know Celtics fans wouldn't want to do this, but do you think Brad Stevens would if he thinks Jaylen Brown is going to leave in 2 years? Because he's definitely underpaid on his kind of where the cap is going and what other people have been getting. Like, he's going to be close to getting paid like what Jalen Brunson, Anthony Simons got. Like, Jaylen Brown is in another tier of those players. So yeah, would you do something like this if you're Boston? Would you do something like this if you're Brooklyn? Let me know down below. And then they also mentioned, or Shams also mentions that ears and eyes and ears around the league also remain fixated on the Utah Jazz and Knicks engaging in trade talks around Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks asset pool up to 8 first-round picks and young players such as Grimes, Quickly, and Toppin give them a clear opportunity to acquire Mitchell. Hopefully they don't include 8 first-round picks. But yeah, they're not a sense of urgency to move Mitchell with 3 years left. And he hasn't really came out and said that he wants to be traded at the moment. But he also mentions there's other suitors such as Washington. I mean, you'd have to center a deal around Denny Avdija. I don't think they'd be very interested in Kristaps. But hey, Beal, Mitchell, and Kristaps, that would be fun. But you'd have to do something like Kispert, Avdija, and a lot of first-round picks in that. Miami, I mean, we know them about Tyler Hero. Toronto, I don't know if they would. I mean, you could probably center a deal around like Trent and Anunoby. You get 2 good wings in return, and then you give them up some draft capital. Maybe they like Precious Achiuwa. Charlotte, now they're a team that probably should do this to make LaMelo Ball happy, try to make the playoffs next year, because I don't think they're going to make it on paper as of now. This would probably have to be like a Mark Williams, I don't know, Kai Jones, PJ Washington, James Bouknight, like a couple of those young players, and then probably 4 first-round picks and a couple swaps. And then Sacramento, really, I don't know how they do it without De'Aaron Fox in the trade. Like, I don't know, Davion Mitchell and a bunch of first-round picks. You're not moving Murray. And I don't know, maybe like Utah would value that because Sacramento doesn't have a good track record of making the playoffs, so they know those picks could be valuable. And Atlanta, not really sure about that since you just acquired DeJounte Murray. That would obviously be involved around DeAndre Hunter or John Collins to an extent. I just don't know if you should have young Mitchell and DeJounte Murray. I mean, that could be fun. I mean, they do have the okay, Atlanta's an interesting team. I just don't know how that would fit, right? Like if you had Mitchell, Trey, and DeJounte Murray. I mean, what is Murray's height? Off the top of my head, I don't know. So Trae Young's 6'1", he's 6'4". Could you place? I mean, like Murray and Mitchell are solid defenders. Young, obviously we know isn't good. Who would it be behind? I guess it'd be behind John Collins. So say we did Collins for Mitchell. They would maybe, like, I don't know. If you did Mitchell, I'm not really sure. Like, say you did AJ Griffin, who was recently traded. So I don't know how long you'd have to wait for that. But then you also gave up a lot of first-round picks. Like, you could move this one this year. I mean, say, I don't know. Because they just gave up so many first-round picks in that DeJounte Murray trade. It'd be really tough. I mean, I think a trade alone of maybe Collins and DeAndre Hunter could get it done, and then maybe one first-round pick. But I don't know if they'd even want to do that. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see there. And we'll see what happens with Donovan Mitchell. So there's also some more NBA news we can kind of go over. Colin Sexton is in the midst of the most difficult free agency status. Yeah, I forget he hasn't signed. I'm sure he's going to get a deal done with Cleveland. There could be a sign and trade as well. Hey, who knows? He didn't mention Cleveland, though, is in the suit or is a suitor for Donovan Mitchell. Kevin Porter Jr. and the Rockets are looking at mutual interest to getting a contract extension. So we'll see about that. I thought that they weren't actually going to do one, but now it looks like they seem committed. We'll see if he's going to get fair market value. Maybe a little under, maybe a little over. The Lakers, after further conversations, former I thought I was going to say Russell Westbrook, NBA All-Star Rasheed Wallace will no longer join the new Lakers coach Darvin Ham staff. Source said, oh, okay. And then Utah Jazz. Yeah, so this one was actually interesting. Utah, New York, and Indiana are among teams that have discussed deals with the Lakers involving Russell Westbrook to get also maybe a 2027 first or 29. Yeah, there's no deal imminent. And then for the Pacers, we kind of saw the Turner and Hield rumors, but the Lakers do want to give up 2 firsts. The Jazz could make a lot of sense if it's a 3-teamer with Donovan Mitchell going, or maybe they just want to do a separate Russell Westbrook for like Mike Conley, Bojan Bogdanovic deal, and then they would just get maybe 1 first-round pick in that. And then for the Knicks, I would assume this would maybe to be offloading Julius Randle's contract if they were to go out and get Donovan Mitchell. So we'll see about that. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this NBA news style video. Drop a like if you did enjoy. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.